So essay structure, how I'll proceed through it is on a 4-body paragraph basis, okay? And I've tried to make it very simple. We obviously work through a problem towards a solution, right? That helps you have a logical progression in the essay. So once you have the introduction, when we come to the essay structure, I would first look at the form of imprisonment in each text. So again, we're comparing Tempest, Hag-Seed, and you should have comparative links within those body paragraphs. So in body paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, even though you're going to focus on Hag-Seed, Tempest, Hag-Seed, within those you should still be making links where you can to the other text. But we're basically starting with an emphasis on the kind of imprisonment and revenge aspect. For instance, you will make a distinction between the motivations for revenge. We know that Felix doesn't care as much about revenge. We know that he's imprisoned in a slightly different way, or perhaps it's a similar way, it's just represented differently. So they're the kind of comparisons you'll make in the start, the first half, and then in the second half, we move towards how they become free, okay? Maybe it's about the Calibans of Hag-Seed getting educated and reforming, and we are freed from our limited understanding of the play. We are freed as the reader, right? Because we're encouraged to probe further into the text, like I just explained before. Felix has to forgive himself. He doesn't have to forgive others. So those differences come out there in the second half. You might have noticed that in the 2020 and 2019 question, as I pointed out, they didn't specify any themes. But if that happens, especially if that happens, you want to have a thematic basis for an essay. That's the easiest way to structure it. And you can see that the themes I've chosen are so broad. They're so broad that they're highly adaptable to any question. If you got a question about performance, you would link the performative mode to those aspects because we've talked about performance as a means of catharsis. We've also talked about how performance is the mode of revenge for Felix. So you'll see that there are links as we go through the evidence with a lot of different key terms that you could be asked about. But whether it's forgiveness, so not forgiving is a form of imprisonment. Forgiving is a form of freedom. You see how you can get a key term like that and then link it to each of the sections of the essay. Okay, so similar, right? Form of imprisonment, mode of imprisonment. What's the consequence? How important is revenge to the characters? Well, very important for one, not that important for the other. How are they freed? Well, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of self. How are we freed? We as the audience have to engage with Shakespeare's freedom from theatre. We as the audience of Hag-Seed, okay, and we're going to go over all of this, of course, and we've already been over a lot of the key concepts here, but we as the audience of Hag-Seed, as the reader, right, are going to be freed from a limited understanding of the text, ironically. Okay, that's a way you can link it to the readership. The how and why questions you see on the side there, how and why, they're the really important, simple questions. Like, how are they imprisoned? Why are they imprisoned? Okay, why is it that way? How do they have revenge? How important is revenge? Why do they do revenge? What happens because of the revenge? Like, kind of just use those basic questions to help build the paragraphs, okay? And then order it in a way that makes sense. And then obviously within each of the body paragraphs, it'll be a little bit longer. For anyone doing 3 body paragraphs, you'll have at least 4. So you want about 12 pieces of evidence in an essay. So if you're doing 4 body paragraphs, you have 3 pieces of evidence explained in each one. And if you do 4 bodies, it's 3. And if you do 3 body paragraphs, you'd have 4 pieces of evidence ideally. So 12 pieces of evidence is always the goal. Obviously, because a 4 body paragraph essay is quite long because you have those extra topic sentences and links, you might have some shorter paragraphs, okay? And that's okay if you need to make 1 or 2 even shorter because I want you to be able to get it out in that 32, 33 minute mark, okay? I know it can be quite a hard essay to write in time, but that's the basic structure.